Yo, Bo, welcome to another episode of In the Life with MightyFan here. And you'll notice I didn't say iced at there, so this is more of just the regular series. I do have some hockey pickups, but I'll save that for a video to come later in the week or the weekend. I have some other jerseys that I've been picking up for a bit here. Some of it was from the Black Friday weekend, some of it was before that. Just some stuff I just haven't gotten around to show to you all, the wonderful people who watch my videos, and I always thank you all so much for that and keep supporting the channel. Um, and so we're going to have some different pickup videos coming up. We have this one, and then we're going to have the hockey because obviously that's a separate series. And I also have another couple things kind of traveling in the mail, and one thing that has to be shipped. And I don't know if it's going to be shipped. I may have to get a refund on that. We'll see. This is something I got on eBay last week, and I don't know what's going on. But, at the very worst, I'll get a refund at least on that one, but we'll see. But I do have what I have in hand here, so I can share that with you. The things that are still traveling, once I get them, I'll do a vid. And I also have some hockey that I want to show. But that will be for a separate video. We got some hats too for hockey, so that's going to be a separate video. But let's get into this, okay? We're going to kind of go different sports here. So we got some baseball, minor league baseball. We got some basketball. We got some football. And I got some hats here for basketball. So we're going to get into this, okay? Because we're gonna just kind of bounce around here. So so just bear with me. All right, so I think first thing I'll show is probably one of the things I got the longest time ago, which was this pretty cool throwback Sacramento Kings, where they did a throwback to the old Cincinnati Royals look. So you think of Big O, when you see this jersey, of course, Oscar Robertson, but this is the Nike Swingman. Really good condition. And sometimes you do have to be careful with the old Swingman jerseys because the colors will fade or crack. But this was in really good condition. You see the Royals going down the side, which I always liked. I always thought that was a sharp looking, aspect to this particular jersey. And this is a Mike Bibby King / Royals throwback from Nike that was made back in the day. You got the Bibby 10 on the back. I also want to get the Weber in this too, just to have the set. And that's pretty cool. And again, a white jersey, and sometimes you have to be careful. Obviously these jerseys are, 20, 30 some years old. So, sometimes they'll have wear and tear, but this is real clean. No spots or anything like that. Got the jock tag right there, double XL. Again, a very cool jersey. I kind of stumbled across these on eBay. I was in a bit of a Kings mood, and and sometimes when you're looking at a jersey, they have these recommendations, and this popped up, and I'm like, ooh, a Bibby Royals? Oh yeah, I'll take that. And it was pretty cheap too. So yeah. Not too bad. Again, this was something I got a bit ago, and I just like it. I like the overall look of it. That old school throwback. And I believe they wore these for a Hardwood Classics, if I'm not mistaken, or Nike just made them. I really forget, but I do believe they wore these on court too. And I know they wore different versions over the years, but yeah, so that's pretty cool right there. Mike Bibby. King / Cincinnati Royals, because they were the Royals before they became they were the Kansas City, they were the Cincinnati Royals, they were the Kansas City Kings, and then they moved to Sacramento, and they're, of course, now where they stay today, Sacramento Kings. So shout out to all my Kings friends out there. Shout out to Deftones, they're Sacramento guys. So there you go, a little Kings love. And the Kings love will continue, because that's the next jersey, and this jersey came out last year as their city edition, and they were inspired by the jersey I just showed, although it would have been more the road version of that jersey, which I don't own. But the Kings went with something similar last year in their celebration of their 100th anniversary. And I always liked this one. I didn't pick it up last year, but it was one of the ones on my hit list, and I got this real cheap off of DickSportingGoods.com. They had last year's City Edition jerseys at they were blowing them out. And I had to have this because this was on my list, of ones that I felt bad about not getting a year ago. And it was just so cheap. And I'm like, oh, I can't pass on it, right? It's a swingman, but it is the Kings. It does have that look that you just saw for the Bibby. And this is what they kind of based this jersey off of. Slim, you knew I had to get a Fox jersey. Just come on. That's easy pickings right there, right? The Aaron Fox is the player. This is one of Festa's favorite jerseys, by the way, right now. So I got to kind of keep this away from Festa. But does have the Fox 5 on the back with the NBA logo. Kings. And the other thing I love about it, I love all the different versions of the crown that they've had as their logo over the years, of the 100 years of their team history. So franchise history. So that's very cool. Glad to have it in the collection. And as well as the Fox, I did also get this one. It was another one that they were blowing out, and it's another one that I wanted to get a year ago and I never did. So we got the Phoenix Suns City Edition from last year. I'm gonna butcher this. I've heard this on the front said all sorts of different ways. So I don't know. Elvale. I have no idea. I'm gonna butcher. I'm not even gonna try to say it again. You want to say like El Valley, but it's not. It has like yeah. So anyhow, it's the Kevin Durant Phoenix Suns City Edition from a season ago. Swingman. Again, this was from Dick's, and they were blowing them out, and I just, had to have it. So you got the trim, that nice trim. I think the Suns still, and I liked what they did this year too. Some people were kind of lukewarm to it. I liked it because it was a homage to the All-Star game from the 90s that was there. And I still want to get one. I haven't moved on it yet, but there's still like 3, I think, out there of the City Editions this season that I want to get. When? We'll see. Over time. But this was another one that, Dick's was blowing out. They were trying to move them. Durant 35 on the back. And hit you with the jock. It does have the Phoenix Suns. It has a little logo on there on the bottom, if you can see that. Phoenix Suns in that 90s kind of font that they had when they did the Starburst, Starburst jerseys. But pretty cool there. I just love the colors. The Suns just always do a great job with their colors of their City Edition jerseys. When they do color, I know for a while there they just kept doing black every year. Although the Valley one was still one I don't own, but that was probably the best one they did when they did all the various different black jerseys. But they've done purple for the last couple of years. And I like last year's. I like this year's. I just have to get it someday. And speaking of City Edition from this year, this one was an insta grab. As soon as these became available on NBA Shop, I had to have this. This was absolutely one of my favorites. I didn't know there was authentic versions of this at the time from the store in Canada or whatever, the Raptors store. So, and those were bought up real quick, so I probably would have missed on it anyhow. But the Vince Carter tribute jersey, it is just beautiful. When you think of like a city jersey, right? So you think of something from not just the city, but something from the team history. And of course, Vince Carter was one of the best Raptors ever to lace them up, right? So when he won that dunk contest at Oracle Arena back in the day, it was one of the all-time great dunk contests. He put on such a great show, and the Raptors honoring it with basically one of his dunks from that contest. Perfect. I mean, this is how you do it, right? The Dino jersey, the Dino logo rather, really doing his best Vince Carter impersonation. It's just beautiful. Everything about this jersey pops. So I got the Harrison Barnes as your player. It's got the pinstriping going down. Really nice. And then you have the on the jock, you have the We the North. Shout out to all my Canadian viewers, all my Raptor fan viewers, my Toronto viewers. I see it, Leon. I know. And then you got, of course, the Dino with the Vince jersey. That's crazy. That's really just, what an honor that is, too. If you're a player like that, to have your own, basically, your jersey that the team's going to wear, that's pretty cool. Pinstripes again on the back. Well done, Raptors. This is probably going to go down as like a top 5 all time for me for the City Edition jerseys. I just love this, and I grew up with the Dino jersey, so that, seeing it again done right. I wasn't a big fan of the Drake stuff they've done, the OVO, the Happy New Year stuff. I did the gold and black. It just, to me, it's not Raptors. Like, this is Raptors. When I think of the Toronto Raptors, I still think of this. I don't think of the gold and the black. I think of purple. I think of, and even though there's not a ton of purple in it, there's enough. This is the Raptors, just go back to this, So, anyhow, and I did get the hat. So, for the Combo Wombo, of course, this was like the best looking one I saw out of all the ones they made. And they're also celebrating their 30th anniversary this season. So, that's part of the reason why they kind of brought back the colors. So, there you go. New era. It is a snap. But I just like the look of this the best, and I knew it would go well with the jersey. So, let's get these two together. Oh, look at that. Oh, my. Woo! That's going to be a head turner right there. So, anyhow, there it is. The Raptors 24-25 City Edition. Harrison Barnes Swingman. Again, that logo is just, it's so great. And I did splurge for an authentic. I have another authentic on the way from my hometown 76ers, but I wanted to get this in authentic because I like the overall look of this as it was, and I figured it would look even better in authentic form. And shout out to all the Laker fans out there, Pistol, and all you guys out there and gals out there, big time Laker fans. So we got the LeBron City Edition, and I love the gradient on this jersey. That goes from black to purple. Really, really nice. And in authentic form, I think it just pops that much more. I love the Lake Show, too, on the front. I like that they did something different. They could have done Lakers or Los Angeles. I like that they used the nickname Lake Show. I love that. And then you got the 23 on the front. All the particulars. Nike swoosh. You got the Lakers on the inside, pressed onto the jersey. And that has Los Angeles Lakers. So it's like their regular logo, but it has all the stars for the championships as they have on their center court at the stadium. You can have a little piping going down for the arm and neck holes. And again, I kind of wanted to get this in authentic. I just figured it would just pop that much more in authentic form because of the gradient. I just think it just was going to just really hit with the authentic. And it does have on above the jock tag, it says "Leave a Legacy," and it has like what their championship banners in that kind of design, which is a nice little touch. So, and then you got I always call it the champ stamp. You got the champ stamp, which is only on the authentics, with the 17 for their championships. You got the NBA logo. You got James 23 on the back, and then you get a good look again at that gradient. Oh, I love that. Some people don't like it. I love it. When jerseys have gradient colors going, it's just great. To me, it pops. It always pops, and when you see it on the court, it really hits. And this is a beautiful jersey. I really like this. And I'm glad I spent the extra few bucks and got the authentic, which, as you all know, I don't always do. But I just figured for this one and for the Sixers, I had to do it. I had to do it. So there you go. Mr. LeBron right there, who I just learned there was a series on Netflix, Starting Five. He's a horror fan. So he has a tattoo of Michael Myers and Jason and Freddie, he knows. He knows. He knows the classics. So, anyhow, there you go. Shout out to King James. And let's get into some football, right? We're deep in the football season. And I got some beauties here from my buddy D. So shout out to D for these. All right, so basically there are two of them that are similar, but they're different. So let's go to this one first. So we got the New England Patriots, Drew Bledsoe, Pro-Line Authentic right here from the 94 season. So it's got the NFL 75th on there. Right? Now, I believe, because there's two versions of this, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, and I could be mistaken because I didn't do the research before this video, but I believe this would be more of the throwback version, because they wore this style when they first started wearing this style, when they rebranded from the red jerseys that they just wore as a throwback this weekend to the blue with the logo, when they created this logo, the Flying Elvis head logo. It was on the sleeve at the time. It wasn't on the shoulders. The numbers were on the shoulders, as you can see here. And when they first started wearing it, they had red letters, or red numbers rather, red and white. They didn't have the white numbers. They came a little later, and they would be more prominent onto when they rebranded again and when they put the Flying Elvis head logos on the shoulders, which you think of more when you think of this kind of color for the Patriot jerseys, right? And this logo. Which is my all-time favorite Patriot jersey. But, so they wore these first. And this is the style. This is how they looked. But they had the red and white numbers on the front. And if I remember correct, they wore this with the white and red as like more of the tribute to their classic jerseys. I don't remember, and I didn't, again, I should have done the research. I didn't do the research. I don't remember if they wore a red version, like the throwback version for the 75th. I know they did for white. They wore a throwback white jersey. And I know that for sure because Mitchell & Ness made that jersey and I own it in the collection. So they wore the white one as a throwback. They did. I don't remember if they wore the red one in 94 as a throwback. So I think this would have been more of like the throwback version, right? With those letters and, the way the font is, the way with the white and red. Bledsoe is single stitched onto the nameplate. Everything else is pressed on, is heat pressed on. That's how the Patriots wore their jerseys at that time. NFL shield. And you have the Pro-Line jock tag. And anytime I can get my hands on a 75th anniversary jersey, you gotta have it. They're just, this is still one of my all-time favorite anniversary logos of any sport. So really nice on there. So yeah, Drew Bledsoe, who I have so much respect for. Drew Bledsoe, he was one of my favorite quarterbacks growing up. And I have most of my Patriot jerseys. The player that dominates the Patriot jerseys for me is Bledsoe. I always respected him. I was glad when they won that he got, a ring. Because he was Tom, became Tom, right? But without Bledsoe, there wouldn't have been Tom. Because Tom will tell you to this day, he learned how to be an NFL quarterback from this guy. And Drew, even though he didn't, play in that Super Bowl when they won the first of their, 6, his voice was still so loud in the locker room. He was still such a big leader. And he sacrificed, not playing. Think about that. You're in the Super Bowl. And I know he was in the Super Bowl years prior against Green Bay and they lost. But you're back in the Super Bowl. He played in the AFC title game. He threw a touchdown pass in Pittsburgh, helped them win the AFC title, and then kind of allowed for Tom to be the quarterback in that game. He wanted to do what was best for the team. And you talk about a guy putting a team ahead of him, that's big time, and they won. And I was so happy for him. In fact, that night, I wore because I had a starter replica Bledsoe jersey, and I wore it that night when they won that Super Bowl. I know Tom gets all the shine, obviously, but Tom, again, to this day, he will say, Drew Bledsoe taught him how to be a quarterback in the NFL. So, that's big time right there. And this next one, so again, if I'm correct in this, and I might not be, but I would say this would be more of their like regular look. So when they went with these jerseys, when they rebranded from the red to this is how they looked, and they had the red numbers on the front. You can even see, like now, if you see the Patriot, vintage Patriot jersey search on eBay, you'll see a lot of replica champion and even some starter, I believe, with the red letters, with the red, color font on there. So that's how they wore them, at least for the front and the back numbers of the jerseys. The numbers on the shoulders were white, I believe, but the more prominent ones were red, and that's just how they wore it. So here's another version of the 75th, but I think this would have been more of their regular look for that time period. And the difference between this jersey and the last one, obviously, is the color font for the numbers, but these numbers are double stitched, whereas the other ones were pressed on. But there you see the 75th again. There you see the flying Elvis heads. Before they went big and bold on the shoulders, they were on the sleeves, kind of like how they had them, for most of Tom's career. But I should say all of his Patriots career. But this is a Russell Athletic Authentic. And there you see again the red and white double stitch. These jerseys aren't easy to find in Authentic. So again, I want to give a big shout out to my buddy D, and also to my buddy Big Slim, who kind of alerted me that D was selling these. And one of them I got right away. The other one I kind of waited around a little bit, and I was glad it was still available. There you see them. Two beautiful additions to the collection, and like I said, a lot of respect for Drew. So I'm glad to have these two in the collection as part of the Mighty Kingdom right here. So I do have the Mitchell and Ness version that they made, the white throwback, but I also have the other two, the Patriot jerseys people remember more for this, the Flying Elvis logo with on the shoulders. I have the blue and white ones for Drew, and I have quite a few of those. I still want to get a Terry Glenn, in that one, and some point I'll get one, but I'm just such a fan of those jerseys. And last but not least, for the football, this is another one I got from my buddy D. Got that James Lofton Buffalo Bills. Like at first when you might look at this, you say it's a Giants jersey. They looked very similar to the Giants jerseys back then, but this is a Buffalo Bills. James Lofton, great receiver, Hall of Famer. And another nice addition to the Mighty Kingdom. This is another Wilson, Authentic. Everything's heat pressed on. That's how the Bills wore their jerseys at that time. So this is like the Super Bowl era for the Bills when they went to the 4th straight. And I was rooting for them. I liked the Bills back then. I did. It's a shame they couldn't win. Of course, 2 of them was against Dallas, so I had to root for them against Dallas. But I was rooting for the Bills, man. It's a shame they couldn't get one home, but those are fun teams to watch. They had a lot of great players, and James was part of that team. So the name is single stitched onto the nameplate, but everything else is heat pressed like that first Bledsoe I showed you. The 80s on the sleeves, both sides. You got the stripes, just that classic Buffalo Bills jersey. When I think of the Bills jerseys, I always think of these first, because these are the ones I grew up with. What they were today are awesome. I would probably even have to put those ahead of these just because with the stripes and the Bills logo on the back, they look great. And I still have to get one in the collection. But when I think of Bills, I still think of these first. And I think of those, 90s teams that just couldn't get over the hump in the Super Bowls. But they were fun. They had a lot of great players on those teams. I was still in my infancy of watching sports at that time. Of course, the Eagles came first. But I had some other teams I enjoyed watching too, just because they were on TV a lot. The Bills, Barry Sanders, the Lions, Jerry Rice, and the Niners. Just to name a few. Let's go to the minor leagues, right? So, as we all know, I'm a diehard Philadelphia sports fan, first and foremost. Oh, and I did forget to show this hat for the LeBron jersey. So I'm going to get that one back out here. I wasn't a huge fan. As much as I like the jersey, I don't really I'm not a big fan of the hat to go with this jersey. So I found this Mitchell & Ness snap on, I want to say Poshmark. Like right when I got this, I saw this, and I just think they just go so perfect together. It's not meant to go with it, but again, it's a black and purple, you know, two-tone snapback right there. You got the logo, Mitchell & Ness. So I think that's going to work pretty well together. What do you think? Right? Looks pretty good, right? I'm just not, the hat just didn't move me as much, you know, for the City Edition, as much as the jersey did. So I went with Mitchell & Ness snap script to go with this jersey instead. And it was cheaper. And speaking of hats, I do have one more to share here before I get into the minor leagues. And I found this one. This was another cheap item. I forget where I got this. It was either Poshmark or Macari. But we got the pinwheel. We all know I love those, right? Golden State Warriors. Shout out to all the Warrior fans out there. Dub Nation. Mitchell & Ness fitted pinwheel. Pinwheel power. Woohoo! Yeah, the city. The old logo right there. It's going to go well with Warrior jerseys, of course. And now we'll get into my spiel, right? So, of course, we all know I love my Philly teams. Big, you know, Philly sports fan. And the minor league systems for the Phillies have always done a great job, you know, with what they put out, the merchandise, the jerseys, the hats. The Iron Pigs probably have some of the best. I know I'm biased, you know, but they're the AAA affiliate to the Phillies. And they always put out great stuff. The Reading Phillies do too. They just put out a throwback that I had to grab for like the 1980s, and they're gonna wear that as a throwback jersey this year. But that's the AA affiliate. They used to be the AAA affiliate, but then some years ago they had some realigning. They brought some more teams into it, and the Iron Pigs became a thing, and they became the AAA affiliate. And the Reading Phillies that were the AAA affiliate got bumped to the AA affiliate. But still, very cool. And they always put out great stuff. Just some awesome, awesome merch. And so just when I thought it was over, after Black Friday was coming to an end, and I already did what I had to do, and I was sitting in my recliner. Slim, I don't know how I wasn't already asleep at the time, but I went on to Instagram, and when I went on to Instagram, I saw a post from the Iron Pigs that Saturday they were going to have an authentic sale for jerseys and hats and equipment at the at their clubhouse store at the stadium at the ballpark, Coca-Cola Park in Allentown at Lehigh Valley. And I said, I've never been to one of these, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to do it. It's about an hour from here. Bit of a drive, but I'm like, you know what? It'd be an adventure. You know, I'm game for this. You know, I've never been to one. I love the Iron Pig stuff. I'd love to add more, you know, Iron Pig jerseys into the arsenal. So let me take a look. Let me get there. You know, and believe it or not, I was the first person there. I got there early. I think I got there about an hour before it's, you know, I just didn't know what to expect. I didn't know if there'd be a line. I'm like, you know, let me go. Let me take a trip. So I did it. I got there. I was the first person in the parking lot. I got a nice parking spot. But I better have, right? You know, it was just one of those, let me just do it, you know? And I get there, you know, eventually, you know, I'm there. I think there was only about like maybe 8 to 9 people there at the time before the store actually opened. The doors actually opened. But they let us in, and they had a couple racks of jerseys. They had like hats. They had some like helmets and other equipment. But I was mainly there for the jerseys. And I was actually very impressed. They had a rack just full of various different special event jerseys, like you know, theme night jerseys, and then they had another rack off to the side of game used, and it was all the gold standard, the alternate jerseys that they wear. And if I didn't find enough here, I probably would have grabbed one of them. I was looking at one, but I didn't pull the trigger. These were actually a little. Everything was reasonably priced. These were cheaper than, because these aren't. I don't believe these are game used. I think these are more team issue jerseys. They also had jerseys with autographs on the front, which were a little more expensive. I'm not an autograph guy on a jersey. I don't want autographs on a jersey because I want to wear them. If it's like one autograph and it's kind of faint, I mean, okay. But these were like just it was autographed all over, so I didn't even bother with those. Even though there were some very nice ones, if they didn't have the autographs, I may have grabbed one. But these did not have autographs, so these were a little cheaper anyhow. So it just worked out better for me anyhow. And this is what I picked up. So I did have already, the Iron Pigs every year. So they do one theme night for based off of a Philadelphia, something, whether it's a food or one of the other teams. They did a Sixer night one day. They did this Philly special night one day for the Eagles after the Eagles won the Super Bowl. They do one like Philly centric thing every year. They've done John. They've done Scrapple, I believe, was one year. Hoagies they did. So this past season they did Mummers, and I have a blank one of this already in the collection because I love the jersey, and I got the hat. So when I saw this was available, I had to grab it because why not just why not just have one? You can have two. So, and it has a number on the back. So I got this. They did a Mummers night, Lehigh Valley Mummers. They won that game. I saw that game on TV. The Pandemic crew was at the game, but I was watching it on TV. There you see all the particulars. The Mummers, so if you don't know what the Mummers are, it's one of the oldest cultural parades in the country, and it's New Year's Day every year in Philly. And they're the Mummers. They have their like string bands and various different, things that go on in the parade. It is an awesome parade. I used to go to it when I was younger. It's a great Philadelphia tradition, and they travel all around the world, so they perform all around the world. And it's very colorful. A lot of string bands, like I said, they do performances. They have like all these elaborate sets that they put out. They have different divisions, and they win cash prizes for the best performances every year on New Year's Day. It's a big event in Philly. So, Mummers Night in the Philadelphia flag colorway, and it just has 24. I didn't do the research as to who wore 24, but I think it's cool because they wore the jersey in 2024. So there you go. We always remember the year with this, right? So there you have it. Lehigh Valley Mummers. Again, I want to say this might be like a team issue jersey. There's the particulars on the bottom. Jog tag. But I was happy to find one of these. And I figure out where to put it. So another one that I was glad to find, they had a cancer awareness one. And my mom had breast cancer, and my grandma had breast cancer. So anytime I can get anything that has like a cancer awareness, I like to get it. So we have the cancer awareness night for the Iron Pigs. I don't know what year this is from, but it does have the Iron Pigs. Everything's pressed on, just like on the Mummers. It's all pressed on. You have the logo, the Iron Pigs logo on the one sleeve. And I believe there's nothing on the other one. The other one's blank. Stands for the logo of the manufacturer. And there you got the jock on the bottom. And it does have the number 8. I don't know who wore number 8. I know Shane Victorino used to wear number 8 as a Philly. I don't know who wore number 8 as an Iron Pig. And then you have the ribbon on the back too for the cancer awareness. So that's very cool. And then you have the logo, of course, the MILB logo on the back. So very cool right there. And then this one's from some years ago. So they wore like they had like the other cool thing the Iron Pigs do is they wear like throwback. They have like Phillies throwback color nights with their own branding, of course. So they wore this one as an alternate jersey with the Iron Pig logo on the front. This is a pullover too, so it has that throwback feel to it. You got the stripes on the sleeves. Does not have a jock tag. This is a very comfortable jersey. I tried this on at the store, And I was just so surprised at how lightweight it is. You think of like a baseball jersey, you know? But obviously they have to be lightweight because they wear them, you know, in the summertime when it's really hot out. Very breathable jersey, even for a pullover. And then you see it's got the older MILB tag on the back. The Jackie Robinson, I believe, logo silhouette. And this one does have a name, Lowen number 50. I don't remember Lowen, but probably a relief pitcher. So a lot of times with these jerseys, like team issue or whatever, a lot of times I gotta get like a relief pitcher because that's gonna be my size. I can't wear an infielder's jersey, so it's not gonna work. So I have to get a big boy. So, you know, the relief pitcher number 50, Lowen. So shout out to Lowen if you're watching this. I have your jersey. Number 50. I've always liked that number, so, you know, that's pretty cool. So I'll definitely be giving this some wears. I'll wear this, you know, future outings at the Iron Pigs or maybe, you know, even a Phillies game, you know, whatever. They're a minor league affiliate to the Phillies anyhow. It's a cool jersey. And it feels cool, too. You wear this, it's light. So a guy like me that's even sweating right now, showing off all these jerseys, I could still kind of get away with wearing that at a game. So that was the haul from the Iron Pigs. Game used and team issue memorabilia sale that they had this past Saturday. And I want to give a shout. I never got the gentleman's name, but someone recognized me at the store and said, "You're that YouTube guy." I said, "Yeah." And ironically enough, I was thumbing through the jerseys, so it had to be, right? But shout out to you, and leave a message in the comments, you know, because it was, you know, it was cool, you know. I mean, now, you know, it's nice to be recognized every now and then, you know. I'm glad that the channel, people enjoy it, and I do this for enjoyment, you know. I do it for all of you. Well, for me, too, to remember what I have, but also, you know, for you, the viewers. And what do you got to do, right? You got to hit that subscribe button. Again, I'm trying to get to 2K subs before the end of the year, or by the end of the year. And we are in December now, so we're in the home stretch. Okay? So I'd like to get to 2K subs by December 31st, 2024. And you all can make that possible by hitting that subscribe button. Tell your friends, tell your family to do the same. And leave those likes. And hit the bell icon so you're always notified to future content by yours truly. I might have a doubleheader tonight. Because I'm filming this right now, and I think I might do a Season of the Fan video too. It's been a minute since I did one of those for my Eagles, right? So we got to get back to that. And I got one more jersey to share. And this was from the Mitchell & Ness sale that they did pre-Black Friday. So they did a 40% off deal, I think a few weeks ago. And I did get a hockey jersey as part of it, but again, that's going to be for the In the Life Iced series. So we got to show non-hockey in this series. And this is a swingman, Josh Smith, the Atlanta Hawks throwback yellow gaudy jersey. I always wanted this jersey. And it became one of those jerseys that's very hard to find. And I was watching an authentic on eBay. But when I saw Mitchell & Ness made it and the 40% off, I had to have it. So you got the swingman, of course, the Smith, and that alternate gaudy yellow that they wore for that time period. And the Smith 5 on the back. You got the trim going down the side. The Hawks actually did homage to this jersey years ago when they wore the big Hawk, but they wore it in this style with the yellow. I believe it was the NBA 75th anniversary season. But, like the mixtape edition jersey, which I do have a Trae Young of. But, so they wore it in this particular, with this kind of look to it, just they put the Big Hawk on it, which was very cool. I love the blend of it. I love the blend of this and the Big Hawk. Really worked nice together. So, yeah, the Josh Smith Atlanta Hawks alternate. This is circa 2004-05. There you see all the particulars. Nice jersey. You know, the more gaudy, the better. In some cases for the jersey heads, right? So this one you will definitely get noticed in. So I had to have it. And that's one of the things that I know, look, I get, you know, Slim obviously, you know, calls me the, you know, the king of swing. But Yes, would I rather they make them in authentic form? Absolutely. But the one thing I will say is I am glad at least that they're giving us options at jerseys that otherwise would be very difficult to get. Whether it's authentic, whether it's swingman, if it's a jersey that's just I want in my collection, but it's just almost impossible to get, when they put them out, it gives me a chance because not only do they put them out, but they put them out in sizes that I can wear. Yeah. Which is always appreciated. So I'm always happy to get them, And yeah, I have a decent amount of swings, but I also have a decent amount of authentics too. And I'm just happy to get them, It just, would I love them to be authentic? Absolutely. But sometimes the old saying is beggars can't be choosers. And that particular jersey is very hard to find. So in that style, so you take what you can get, sometimes. And that's why I get them. All right, everyone. Well, boy, how long has this been? Oh, my goodness, almost 41 minutes. But I had a lot to show, and I still have more. I'm just kind of waiting on a few things to show up in the mail. Others I got to do in the Into Life Ice series. So, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. But I thank you all for tuning in. As always, shout out to everyone. Hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Happy holiday season to everyone. I can't believe it's already almost the end of the year. It's just amazing how fast time flies. We're already in another holiday season. It's crazy. But hope you all have a happy and healthy and safe one out there. You'll see me again, of course, before we really get into the big time with the holidays, with Christmas and New Year's and all that good stuff coming up right in a few weeks. But anyhow, that's going to do it for now. I think I'm going to try to get into that Season of the Fan series. If I don't put the video out tonight, I'll have it out by tomorrow. Certainly before the Panther game. It's hard to believe it's almost the end of another NFL season. That's crazy. But yeah, so I'm going to get to that. But as I said before, and I'll say it again, I'll say it 1,000 times, thank you all for all the support to the channel. And what do you always got to do? Leave those likes, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Again, trying to get to 2K by the end of the year. And hit that bell icon so you get notified to all future content from yours truly. Never want to miss an episode. So you want to do all that stuff that you got to do here on YouTube. The rules of YouTube, right? If you're going to watch videos, this is what you got to do. All right, everyone. You all take care, and I'll see you in the next one.